by burning fossil fuels like coal or natural gas or oil. The CO2 is emitted to the air and forms a layer of greenhouse gas that traps heat and contributes to global warming. Another company decides to build windmills, for example, that generate electricity, an activity that will...
A star, and must not have any large objects that inhibit its orbit around the sun, a concept called clearing out the neighborhood. And the union decided Pluto didn't fit the bill, mostly because it didn't clear out its neighborhood.
You see, a recent Canadian study suggests that when you win an acting Oscar, you live longer. Like Bette Davis, who made it to 81, or Jimmy Stewart, who died at 89. John Gielgud and Katharine Hepburn both lived to 96. But on average, actors who take Oscar home seem to live 4 years longer, 79.7 years, when compared with those who remain statueless, 75.8.
But thin layers of hafnium, a metal used to cool nuclear reactors, don't overheat or leak, so researchers are now able to nearly double the number of microscopic transistors or gates on a chip. They're called gates because the flow of electric current opens and closes the gate, representing the zeros and ones that make up basic computer language. The chip will eventually make it possible to download a high-definition feature-length movie in a single second.
Indeed, they were John Kerry's strongest supporters in 2004, when voter turnout among 18 to 24-year-olds rose 11%, more than any other age group. Most attribute the jump to ferment over the Iraq War and heightened turnout efforts.
And verses from the Quran like this one: "Wherever you are, death will find you, even in the looming tower." Their stories and much more are told in a new book called The Looming Tower.
The roller coaster began yesterday when China's benchmark Shanghai Composite Index plunged 8.8%. It was China's biggest one-day drop in a decade. At the same time, other Asian indexes caught the jitters. Japan lost 0.5 percentage point. Hong Kong was down 1.8%. In Europe, where trading opens after the Asian markets close, the drop was sharper, down 2.6% by close of business. And in the U.S., the plunge was sharper still, down 416 points, or 3.3%, wiping out all the gains so far in 2007.
The moral side, articulated at length in Smith's first book, The Theory of Moral Sentiments. Its basic idea is that we're all endowed with a natural sentiment of sympathy, which allows us to feel and therefore to mitigate the suffering of our fellow humans.
One is produced by a gene called HE4, normally expressed in the male testicles. For unknown reasons, it's almost never found in women, unless they have ovarian cancer. Says she thinks
of all the poems in Scranimals, probably the nastiest, meanest of all is the radish shark. In the middle of the ocean, in the deep, deep dark, dwells a monstrous apparition, the detested radish shark. It's an underwater nightmare that you hope you never meet, for it eats what it wants, and it always wants to eat.